Welcome to Layn News. I'm going to share some valuable information that may help you, and always do your own due diligence. Feel free to scrutinize me. Don't believe everything I'm saying. I left the article below to go over what I basically stated in this video. Consider this. In this time, unfortunately, there's a lot of people, at least in here in California, and there might be some similar cities, states, townships, towns, provinces, counties, etc., countries. Maybe your government, or maybe there's an unemployment program, and maybe your government wants the money back if you can't prove that you actually qualify for unemployment insurance. That's what's happening here in California, is that a large amount of people that actually file for unemployment insurance now have to actually prove that they actually qualify for it. And the thing is that at this point, if they can't prove it, they have to pay it all back. Most people aren't aware that there is an overpayment waiver. I left a link below to go in detail about that. Nothing's absolute, nothing's 100%, but I highly recommend contacting EDD, the unemployment department, EDD, or I'll consider mailing them a letter. Sometimes they can actually send you a letter on your behalf, or they might send you the notice for overpayment waiver. But if you haven't got that, I'll highly consider calling them as much as you can. It can be hard getting through, but staying strong to it, mailing them a letter, and doing your best to get out to them and reach out to them to actually get that overpayment waiver. That's my tip for today. I'm gonna follow the screen through. I'm gonna share the actual website and direct link that I left below that goes in deep detail about the overpayment waiver, so that you don't have to pay it back, especially if it causes a financial hardship. Follow the screen through. Hey y'all, thank you for following me through. This is the actual edd.ca.gov article and website that goes in deep detail in regards to the overpayment and penalties. And I'm gonna go in deep detail with this article that's directly from the EDD here in California, from the state of California Employment Development Department, that goes over the overpayment waiver. What's going on, for those that don't know or do know, a lot of people don't know it, especially if you're in a different city, state, you might want to go to Google, go to Bing, or contact your unemployment insurance department or development department and ask them if they have an overpayment waiver. I'm about to show you something that most people don't know about. There's an overpayment waiver that you can actually possibly qualify for. That's what's going on, is that unfortunately for a lot of people, they're finding themselves in a situation where they have to prove that they actually qualify for unemployment or employment development department payouts. And if they don't prove it, they can actually risk having to pay the whole amount back. And if you don't, even if you don't have the money, they can garnish your wages. And there's a lot of ways that the state can really make your life like really difficult. So you probably want to avoid that. So a lot of people just don't have the information. So again, I do have a background in being a HUD certified counselor. I also worked as a SCORE mentor, helping people, and I have a background in helping. So I want to help as many people as possible. I'm far from perfect. Always do your own research. I'm just human like y'all. And maybe I don't see something here, or maybe I missed something, but I'm going to just share this article with you. And this is so that if you're at that point where you just don't know what to do, maybe you don't have any money come in, and if you paid everything back, you probably spend it to live and for maybe rent, or maybe just splurging, whatever the case, whatever you did. I'm not judging. It's not meant to judge here. The point is, you might just not have the money, or you just might not want to pay back that money. Whatever the case you fall in, there's a way that you could possibly get an overpayment waiver. So this is what I'm gonna go into it. And there's two ways they classify this, is actually right down here: fraud and non-fraud. So look at this. A benefit overpayment is when you collect unemployment benefits you are not eligible to receive. The most common reasons for an overpayment are: you incorrectly reported your wages when certifying for benefits and were overpaid. And right here it says learn how to correctly report wages. And I left this article below as well, so that you can spend more time scrutinizing this and really educating yourself. And I would highly and strongly encourage, and I'm going to leave the direct phone number for the EDD in the descriptions below. So this article will be there, direct article, and also the actual phone number. And the EDD has a few numbers you can actually call, but I'm going to leave the general number there. If you have another number, call that number, or call the number I left below. Also consider mailing them. They also have an address you can actually mail a letter to, and request this overpayment document so that you can actually try to get the waiver. Request the overpayment waiver. They can actually send it to you, as I'm going to share here. They can send it to you, but if you don't get it in the mail for some reason, or an option to actually to submit for an overpayment waiver so you don't have to pay any of the money back, then I'll highly recommend mailing them, calling them as much as possible. I know it could get really busy on the lines, and some people don't even get through. You just have to keep on calling, because think of it this way: if you could get through and you just keep on calling, you stay strong, or you mail them a letter. If you can't get through, at least mail them a letter if everything else fails, or do both call and mail letter. So that way you're also going through different cycles of different challenges contacting them. if you get this done, you could possibly not pay any of the money back. So you might want to consider this. Also consider if you call, say if you speak English, maybe consider, maybe you're bilingual. You could also maybe pick maybe Chinese or Cantonese, or maybe they speak Farsi, or maybe there's different options. One might say option 2, Espanol. If there's a different language, maybe consider going through that, because the English one might have more people. Just a quick tip that might help people. Like I said, I have a background being a business consultant, also a HUD certified counselor through a 501c3 nonprofit. So I have a habit of helping people, and I learned a lot. So I'm just giving you guys and gals this for free. Welcome to Layn News. But anyways, so right here, fraud. If we determine that you intentionally gave false information or withheld information, the overpayment is considered fraud. You will have to pay a 30% penalty in addition to the overpayment amount. You may also be disqualified for future benefits up to 23 weeks. So just be careful with doing anything fraudulent. And non-fraud, if the overpayment was not your fault, it's considered non-fraud. You'll receive a notice telling you if the overpayment must be repaid. So simply put, what's going on is California and a lot of other cities, states, and provinces, townships might be following the same strategy of recouping the money, or some people call it the clawback. And what's going on is that if the EDD or unemployment money paid you out money and you can't prove it, they're asking for you to pay it back. And a lot of people don't have the money, or if they have the money, they don't want to pay it back, or whatever the case is. Most times they just don't have the money, so you're gonna be charged interest, and then also you could be fined, and then it's just a lot. They could also garnish your wages potentially, and there's a lot of ways where this state can actually really make your life a real disaster. So you probably want to take this into consideration. And look at this. We will send you a notice of potential overpayment, form DE 1447 in parentheses right there. If we need more information to determine if you were overpaid or the amount you were overpaid, you must respond to the notice within 15 days so we can make the correct determination. So what's going on is a lot of times, hopefully they can send you this letter, this notice, or this form. If you don't get out, strongly encourage, not that this will help you, because I know it's hard to get through and a lot going on, and I don't have all the answers, but I'm just trying to help y'all, because I know a lot of people are suffering and scared, and some people just can't pay it back, or maybe you lost your documents. I mean, you can't recoup your documents, you can't even prove, maybe you are legitimate, right? But you can't prove yourself. Maybe your house burned down, maybe something happened, maybe you lost your documents, maybe you're sick with COVID and you lost your place and everything got put in storage somewhere. You don't know where your documents are. You don't even know how to recoup your documents. Maybe the company you used to work for is out of business now because everything goes on, so you don't even know where to get your documents for. Maybe they didn't send you the documents. You don't know how to file. So the point is, there's a lot of different reasons why people are stuck in this situation, and that I don't have enough time to name them all. The point is, you're in a situation where you have to pay back money or prove the documents. And if you can't prove it, so if you can prove yourself, you don't have to pay nothing back then, right? So you're good. What I'm talking about is the person who can't prove that they actually should qualify for unemployment. So that means they're going to be charged interest. They're going to be charged a fee. Possibly they're going to have to pay back all the money. That's the person I'm talking about. The person who gets to notice and they can submit all the documents, and you're good to go anyway, because at that point, EDD will just say, oh, okay, you qualify. And you don't have to pay it back because it's unemployment. What EDD is doing, they're trying to get back all the money from people they feel don't qualify for it. If you could prove that you qualify for it, you don't have nothing to worry about. What I'm talking about is the person out there who can't prove that they deserve it, even if you did deserve it. For example, like maybe you don't have your documents anymore. Maybe you lost them. Maybe you're just not the most savvy at keeping documents and keeping things neat. Maybe your place burned down. Maybe you were sick. Maybe someone stole your documents. Maybe the company never sent it to you. That's a possibility. Maybe the company's out of business now. Who knows what the reason is? There's too many reasons. The point is, if you're in a situation, that means you're going to have to pay all the money back. You might not have it. And if you do have, you probably don't want to pay all that. And then also, more than likely, you don't have it, so you probably pay rent, maybe splurge, whatever you did with it. Not my judgment. It's not meant to judge. The point is, you just probably don't have the money. So you're going to be charged. And then they can also garnish your wages. This could be a disaster. So please go through this article. Learn about how to, if you qualify for this, and then contact. I would highly recommend. I left the phone number, the Joe number for EDD in the descriptions with this link. Please call them and figure out if you can get an overpayment waiver, and do your best to mail them a letter if you need to. Call them every single day. This really will benefit you. Put in the sweat equity. I know it's not going to be most comfortable. If you call on one ring and you get in, great. You speak with a rep, great. If you don't, keep on calling. Consider getting this overpayment waiver. Look at this. To be considered for a waiver, you must complete and return the personal financial statement. DE 1446 will review your information to determine if you're paying the overpayment would cause you extraordinary hardship. And that's kind of part of it. If they feel it's going to cause you extraordinary hardship, which for the most part, that's up to you to figure out. Will it? Maybe you don't have the money, right? So your wages being garnished might cause you hardship. If you already are having a hard time paying rent, maybe like them collecting this money back from you could possibly seen in the scope of whatever the case is that this is a hardship. That's for you to figure out, or that's for them to figure out. I'm not your attorney. I'm not your legal rep. I'm not your consultant. I'm just sharing a dude on YouTube sharing another strategist. I want to help you all. That's what you have to do. So that's what you have to do. So more than they're supposed to mail this to you, but like I said, I don't care what the case, even if they don't mail it to you, still call them and just let them know. Email them if you can. For those that might have an email address to maybe a rep or something. Not everyone's that fortunate. Some people just have to call the old-fashioned way. If you can, try send a letter. This is it. So don't give up, people. I know it's a hard time, and for all those out there all over the world, if you have a similar program or government in place that gave money to the people and they want to take it back, or some type of clawback where to get the money back, I highly recommend using search engines, but to figure out if they have some type of waiver, and also contact them directly and asking them, hey, do you have a waiver and how do I apply for that? So a lot of people don't know about this. A lot of people are pulling their hair out and don't know what to do. So I love all of y'all. Like, subscribe, share. Welcome to Layn News. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the channel, and follow me on Instagram, Conrad Layn. Like, subscribe, share. Conrad Layn out. Peace.